Are you feeling politically frustrated? Well, if so, you are not alone. I want to talk about that for just a few moments. You know, the Pew Center for Research just did a study that says 65% of Americans would describe themselves as being politically frustrated, feeling like the system's just not working the way that you wish it would. No doubt, as we go through this political season, there are going to be those who feel like, I don't know if I find a home in either party. I certainly know the issues that I'm passionate about, but I'm not feeling fully at home with either party. Now, I recognize there are those who also feel fully at home, and you know what candidate you're going to vote for, and you feel really passionate that that candidate aligns with your issues, and I think that's great. But when you get a report that says 65% of Americans feel homeless politically, I don't think that's something that's a small phenomenon. And I've been thinking about that lately from a biblical perspective. As we always should, we got to let Scripture be our guide, even and especially as it pertains to the political moment that we're in, that can oftentimes distort our faith and discourage our hearts and maybe even interfere with our witness. And so I want to talk to you for a moment about three areas of investments that can really encourage your heart when you're feeling politically frustrated. The first area of investment that I would really encourage you to consider is investing in your faith. Oftentimes, my political frustrations, and I feel them often, are a reflection of the fact that I just need to reconnect with God's bigger story. When we invest in our faith, we're reminded that God has a grand mission. He is redeeming the world, and everything is unfolding in this world according to his plan. I love this thought. It was first said by the great apologist Francis Schaeffer, and that is, over every square inch of created order, Christ declares mine. That means that there's not a moment, a day, a nation that's not under his control. Now, certainly there are times when things will work out in ways that we don't really resonate with, but trust me, heaven's not surprised. God is not anxious. He is not pacing the floor of heaven. As a matter of fact, he is on mission. This Missio Dei, as it's often been described, the mission of God that started in Eden and continues to today. And so the more that we shift our investment, investing into our faith through Bible studies, through evangelism, witness, getting active in the church, the more we're reminded of God's bigger story, and it relieves in a very powerful way our political frustrations as it shifts our expectations to the only mission that can really bear the weight of our hopes. So I want to encourage you to invest there first. Get deeper into your faith. The more you're frustrated with presidential debates, outcomes of elections, policy matters that don't go the way that we hope that they would, the more we should invest in our faith. The second investment we should make is into our families. It's been said, and I think that this is absolutely true, that the greatest way we can impact our nation, our culture, and the world around us is through our living rooms. The fact is that in our living rooms, everything is unfolding. All of life is unfolding. The issues that we find most important for us to vote about really are issues that are happening right in our living rooms. I don't want you to overlook the opportunity you have as a parent to disciple your children. I don't want you to overlook the power you have if you're married, to have a marriage that is having an impact on the folks around you, your neighbors and your network. I don't want you to overlook, if you're a single, the opportunity you have to serve your family in a powerful way. Our families, when they're on mission, are powerful agents for God, and it really is the greatest way we can impact culture and society. I got 5 kids. Many of you guys know that. And when I look at my kids, I realize and recognize that, man, this is the greatest legacy I'm going to leave in the world. After it's all said and done, my legacy in my home will be greater than the legacy I had through the ballot box. Doesn't mean that voting isn't important, doesn't mean that politics aren't important, but it means that your living room is far more important. Far more than what's happening at the White House is what happens at my house and at your house. The third area of investment, if you're politically frustrated in this moment, is your friendships. You know, we can get isolated. Politics tends to drive us into even deeper isolation. But I want to remind you of something, and that is God gives friends so that we can do things of great impact with others. And so we need friends who can be like-minded, who can help us to think creatively about ways we can impact our own community. So maybe government is dysfunctional. Let's concede that for a moment. Maybe the political leaders of our day and age aren't having the impact on our communities the way that we want. Well, that's what friends are for, to maybe have folks over at your house to talk about what can we do. Can we adopt a school? Can we adopt a park? Can we roll up our sleeves and get involved in our neighborhood in positive and powerful ways? You know, this age that we live in, between social media slacktivism and political activism, makes us feel like we really don't have as much power as we do. But imagine if you and a group of friends, let's just say your life group for a moment, decided that you wanted to adopt one issue in your local community. I wonder what type of impact you could have in that area. I think you can have a tremendous impact in that area. This is what friends are for. So let's just shift our investment. If you're a part of the 65% of Americans who say, Chris, I'm politically frustrated, system isn't working, I don't have a political home, don't feel like you are powerless. Remember the words of the Apostle Paul in the book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse number 2. Set your affections on things above, not on the things of earth. Set your affections on God, his grand and glorious mission, and then get busy investing in your family, investing in your friends, because that's how we change the culture. And I hope that as you do these things, that the joy of Christ and the hope for our future will get greater in your heart.